Tonight on the ABC Montana News at 5:30, a dead body discovered in a truck submerged in the Missouri River.
Plus, a fire threatening a group of cabins over the weekend is finally contained.
And a rock slide on Highway 1 forces traffic to one lane.
But first, residents on Tower Street in Missoula prepare for the worst as floodwaters creep in.
Covering Montana right now, this is ABC Local News at 5:30.
Tonight, fire, rock slides, floodwaters. We got it all, folks. It's keeping Montanans on their toes. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ben Wideman.
And I'm Angela Marshall. We start with team coverage. Our weather authority, Megan Baraka, is standing by in the Weather Authority Center to break down what's to come. But first, Stella's son is on Tower Street, where homeowners are seeing water levels on the Clark Fork River rise as winter's snow and ice melts. Stella, how's it looking out there?
Angela and Ben, just to give you an idea of how high floodwaters are here on Kerwell Drive, I stand about 5 foot 2 inches tall, and as you can see, those water levels are definitely well above my ankles. I'd say over 6 inches. This morning I talked with Kathy Galbavy, who's lived at 3488 Kerwell Drive since 1982, but her and a husband were forced to leave their home after floods damaged their property 3 times. She came back this morning to check up on the place after learning the water levels were rising on Kerwell Drive once again. And she says she's dreading what's to come with melting snow and warming weather.
I'm thinking not again. Hopefully this will be it, and it's just a little minor, and I hope it doesn't get to be major.
Galbavy adds she and her husband usually sandbag their property long before flooding begins, but this year they don't have the strength to protect their property. It might be a little hard to tell, but if you can see behind me, Galbavy, their neighbor has lined their property with those sandbags. Missoula County Emergency Management officials tell me you can pick up some sandbags at Fort Missoula. Live in Missoula, I'm Stella Sutton, Montana Right Now.
Thank you very much, Stella. Emergency management officials will host a meeting later this week for residents in that Tower Street neighborhood and surrounding areas. The public meeting is set for Wednesday at 6 p.m. in the Hawthorne Elementary School gym. Now, it's geared towards all residents in the Orchard Homes neighborhood. Representatives from Missoula County will provide an update on spring flooding and answer any questions.
Turning now to the Weather Center. Megan, as flooding and fire seasons begin to overlap, wishing for either rain or even sun at this point is pretty much a double-edged sword.
Yeah, Meg, what can we be expecting the rest of this week?
Well, Andrew, Ben, when it comes to our weather, we are going to be seeing a little bit more of that rainfall and also quite a bit of sunshine with warmer temperatures. It's going to be a little bit of a mix for this week. And so speaking of all these flood conditions, excuse me, let's take a look at our Clark Fork River. Now, this is above Missoula. And so when it comes to this, we're not heading into the minor flood stage. We're actually only going to be in the active zone right there, as you can see. And then slowly by Wednesday, that's when it's actually going to lower back down, where it's not going to be causing any problems when it comes to the Clark Fork River. And so that is a bit of good news, but we are going to be seeing more rainfall overnight tonight as we head into our Tuesday, but it's going to be very light rain for that northwest corner, and then it's slowly going to be moving its way down towards southwest Montana, where there are possible thunderstorms coming by Friday. And now temperature-wise, we are going to be remaining in the low to mid-60s for this week, and I'll have more details on that coming up in a bit. For now, I'll send it back to the desk.
Thanks so much, Megan. Well, adding to the list of obstacles on Montana's roads, a rock slide near Phillipsburg early this morning had drivers sharing one lane. Now, that slide happened around 4:30 a.m. on Montana Highway 1 on Flint Creek Hill. Take a look at the photos that we have posted by Katie Postma. You can see them right there. The Montana Department of Transportation says drivers are dealing with delays and single-lane traffic as crews work to clear the road. Of course, we will update you as soon as the other lane reopens.
We turn on a fire mode where a blaze that burned 70 acres this weekend has finally been contained.
Now, the university fire broke out around 3 Friday afternoon in Madison County. It burned on South Boulder Road, just south of Cardwell, between Butte and Bozeman.
Now, crews of more than 3 dozen firefighters from Beaverhead, U.S. Forest Service, Harrison, Madison Valley Rural, and the Whitehall fire departments battled the blaze this weekend. The fire came right up to the steps of one home, and the fire line burned just 30 feet from a number of cabins. Harrison Fire Chief Boise Atkins says if it really hadn't started raining yesterday, the fire might not have been contained so quickly, and those homes would have been put in even greater danger.
It was really a godsend for that when it came down and started to do it, so we was happy to see it. Everybody be careful out there. You never know when or where, and the wind can always take it as quick as it gets started.
While a few trees inside the barrier continue to smolder, the fire is under control. Authorities say the cause of the fire is still under investigation, and they caution anyone who plans to start a prescribed burn to be aware of the underbrush, which is still very dry despite southwest Montana's wet spring.
We have new information tonight about one of the victims in the Missoula Evero shootings that killed one person and injured 3 others last month, including Montana Highway Patrol Trooper Wade Palmer. Casey Blanchard was shot 8 times that night. Today, his family says after undergoing 10 different surgeries, Casey is now in a rehabilitation unit. Now, he's still limited when it comes to life's daily activities, but continues to make progress. If you would like to show support for the Blanchard family, a spaghetti dinner is planned this Saturday from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at St. Mary's Parish in Stevensville. We have that information on our website, abcfoxmontana.com.
Well, now to a developing story where a body is recovered earlier this afternoon from the Missouri River near Craig.
Our Nicholas Berger was on the scene and brings us the latest.
I'm here in Craig, Montana, where local law enforcement and emergency services have just taken out a white truck that was submerged in the Missouri River. They also confirmed that one man and his dog were inside. The Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office got the call around 10:30 this morning when a fisherman came across the completely submerged truck just outside of the Craig boat launch. Local law enforcement, emergency services, and search and rescue arrived on the scene shortly after, immediately starting their rescue efforts.
We deployed the water emergency team. We did identify that there was one male in there, and then it went into a recovery mode after that.
In total, it took the rescue team about 4 hours to get the truck out of the water, with the strong current being one of their biggest challenges. Sheriff Dutton says the truck drove into the Missouri from the boat launch and was carried by the current to where it finally stopped. He says that while it wouldn't have been easy to accidentally end up in that part of the river, it is still unclear whether it was an accident or intentional. Looking forward from here, the sheriff tells me the next few steps are to send the body to Missoula for autopsy. This is an ongoing investigation, so we're going to keep you updated with the latest information as it comes into our newsroom. Reporting from Craig, Montana, I'm Nicholas Berger, Montana Right Now.
Thank you very much, Nick. Well, a crime tracker alert tonight, turning now to Shelby, where Toole County dispatchers say a man has barricaded himself inside a home near Gallia Street.
Now, as of right now, very few details are being released, but what we did get to speak with is Mark Daniels. He's the news director for KSEN. It's a radio station in Shelby. He is on the scene and said Montana police from north central Montana are all assisting.
But we know that the Great Falls Police Department's high-risk unit is on the scene just about a block away from where I am. You've got FBI, Toole County Sheriff's, a Border Patrol car here, search and rescue, and Toole County Sheriff's, of course, number of law enforcement agencies that have been on this scene here since early this morning. I don't know at exact time, but they've been guarding a residence. We kind of know that. But any other details they've been slow in coming in terms of exactly what prompted this. We hear lots of rumors, but those are unofficial right at this point.
Now, we do have one of our own reporters on the way to Shelby at this moment and expect to hear from them during our 6:30 news. In the meantime, Toole County Sheriff tells us they'll be sending out a press release once the scene is clear.
In Missoula, a former YMCA child care worker won't spend any time behind bars after creating a, quote, drug den and smoking meth inside the daycare. A judge handed down a 20-year suspended sentence to Autumn Hines for felony child endangerment, possession of meth, and criminal mischief. Hines worked at the YMCA for 3 years, caring for infants in the daycare facility. She was arrested last April. Prosecutors say she created a drug den inside the YMCA laundry room where she stored and smoked meth. She also smoked meth in the bathroom at the facility. 72 children were cared for at the YMCA, and they were tested for meth. All results were negative, although Hines' own 4-year-old child did test positive for meth. Hines was emotional in the courtroom today as she told the judge she does not expect to be forgiven.
I understand that the damage I have personally caused each of you goes so far beyond a simple fix. Your trust has been shattered, and I never deserve the chance to get it back. As much as I wish this would have never happened in the first place, I am beyond grateful to be able to start my life over.
In addition to the 20-year suspended sentence with the Montana Department of Corrections, Hines is ordered to pay more than $460,000 in damages to the YMCA.
Busy Monday evening, but we have a lot more coming up on ABC Montana News at 5:30. Coming up in sports, Sean is talking a little basketball. An interesting tie between Montana State's new head coach Danny Sprinkle and another coach in the Treasure State. You'll want to stick around for that story.
And later, as we told you, flood season is back. Our weather authority, Megan Barassa, breaks down flood concerns in the Garden City. Plus, a look at your full work week weather forecast still to come.
And just ahead, national parks celebrate Earth Day by going green. We head to Yellowstone for a look at its next commitment to sustainable growth. You're watching the ABC Montana News at 5:30.